Hello, I'm Dr. Carlo Carandang, and I'm a psychiatrist. Today, I will answer a question about what are some encouraging words for someone who is stressed out. Here are some words of encouragement for when you are stressed out. Try living one day at a time. Don't look back, it only makes you depressed. And don't look forward, because it only makes you anxious. Just live one day at a time. Live in the moment. Live in the here and now. Why don't you try it? We are so busy with our lives that we're always planning for the future, and we also fill our time with looking back, and then we have regret. Don't have regrets. If you look back, you will have regrets, so don't look back. And don't look forward, because if you look forward too much, then you will become disappointed, as what you planned for oftentimes does not come to fruition. Because there are many things in life that we have no control over. The only thing that we have control over right now is to be present. So when you are present and you are aware of what's going on right now, that can alleviate much of your stress that's going on with you right now. Because if you're stressed out, you're most likely worried about something that's going to occur in the future, or you have regret about something you did in the past. If you live in the here and now and just focus on breathing, just focus on taking in the sights that's around you, focus on the people around you that are important to you. If you do those things, you can then start to be present and live in the here and now, instead of being wroth with worry and regret when you look forward or when you look back. So don't look forward or look back. Be present. Stay in the here and now. Other words of encouragement are, although your situation might be really bad, there is always someone else that has it worse off than you. So think about that for a minute. There's always someone that has it worse off than you. Another word of encouragement is, don't sweat the small stuff. Just focus on the things that are really important. When you focus and when you sweat the small stuff, when you look at the unimportant details of a situation, then what happens is you spend much of your time thinking about, and you spend energy and time thinking about things that are non-consequential, that are inconsequential. And what you really need to focus on, especially when you're stressed out, are the things that are really important to you. So just don't sweat the small stuff, especially when you're stressed out. Just focus on what's really important. Now, this can be really hard when you're stressed out, because everything might seem very important to you, because when you're stressed out, you can make a molehill into a mountain. So it just seems like little problems then becomes big problems. But when you're stressed out, you especially need to focus on what's really important and then ignore the things that are not important. So that's easier said than done. It's a skill that you need to develop. Another word of encouragement is that times of crisis is an opportunity for change. If you look at the Chinese symbol for crisis, it is also a symbol of opportunity and change. So the Chinese see crisis as times of change. So this is, when you have a crisis, then this should be, you can look at it, reframe it as, instead of something that's devastating, although it might be devastating, but you can still reframe a crisis into something that's an opportunity for change. So when you reframe crisis into opportunities for change, then you might then change for the better instead of get worse because of the devastation associated with the crisis. Another word of encouragement is this, and I will leave you now with this last word of encouragement. Have gratitude and count your blessings. So if you look at what you have, your relationships, your education, your belongings, the roof over your head, the food that you eat. So there are things that are around you that you can have gratitude for. And in this way, it's better than to count and to be thankful for what you have instead of what you don't have. Certainly, I'm not trying to trivialize your situation where you might have hit rock bottom. Maybe you're homeless, maybe you're hungry. I would implore you then to get the help you need, get off the streets, get a bite to eat, get shelter. However, there are still things that you can be grateful for. And what I'm saying is, I'm not trying to trivialize your situation. It might be very dire. However, there are still things that you can be thankful for. And until you can get to the point where you can shift from being in despair to being thankful, then you can start helping yourself and start climbing out of that hole. And start climbing out of that deep, dark hole so that you can get on with the business of living. And instead of living in despair, you can start to thrive again. Because everyone deserves a chance to thrive, and you do too. So I'm not trying to trivialize your situation. I'm just saying that there's ways you can look at a situation so that you can reframe it, so that instead of being in despair, then you can start to thrive again. But you can only thrive again if you have the right mindset. So these words of encouragement are some things you can use to help you to get to that path of thriving again. I hope this answers your question. I'm Dr. Carlo Carandang. Thank you for listening, and good luck.